I am so close to hitting the 1,000 book requirement that will turn my book room into an official library. So I figured, perfect time to do a little bit of online book shopping. And I'll take you along for the ride as we buy a bunch of books, unbox them, and count to see how close I am to hitting this goal. Let's get to it. Okay, so first off, we are looking at Waterstones. I actually like going here for their special edition books. I don't actually think we're gonna be getting anything because I've already ordered the stuff that I want from them. I am getting The Familiar, and then also the Murder at Holly House, because that's like a pretty decent price for a special edition. I don't think we're gonna find much here on Waterstones right now, so let's go to probably Amazon. That's where I get most of my stuff. I want this pretty bad, but I don't want to spend $18 on it. And I don't imagine I can get it cheaper. Okay, let's see what Book Outlet has. I don't really think they're like the best place, but when you're trying to get things for cheap. Oh, here's the thing. I've been getting Ali Hazelwood books from Book of the Month, but I prefer romance in paperback. I have not been on here for a while. For the most part, I kind of ignore them. They do tend to have the books that have like the mark on the bottom though, which I'm not a big fan of. It's too bad I didn't make more coffee before starting this, because this is gonna be a while. A Room of One's Own. Not gonna lie, this is super intriguing to me. Let's just add it to the cart. I don't even care. I'm not even gonna read what it's about. I like the cover. It's Virginia Woolf, so it's, you know, classic. I am not finding the stuff that I'm looking for. Did I add this to my cart? I didn't. Okay, let's just add it to my cart, even though I don't think I'm gonna get that one because it's too expensive for my cheap ass. And I want hardcovers of that. I would like some more stuff by POC authors. Maybe I should just focus on trying to get stuff by I mean, like, the Virginia Woolf thing isn't a POC author though. But, like, most of my physical TBR is white authors. Like, it really outweighs the POC authors, and I would like to change that. Let's look at my book wish lists. This one's the public one. So things that I have, oh, I really want this. Oh, it looks like it went up in price. I'm a fan of this author. I read their House Witch series. Oh, I also really want this. Oh, there was another one that I really wanted too. Oh, the Tananarive Confessions. I want this. I've heard good stuff. And technically it's POC because it's translated fiction. Maybe I should add this to my cart. Part of me wants some new stuff though that I don't already have on my wish lists. We can find, oh, this, the Reformatory. I want this so bad. I bet you it's super expensive. Paperback. I want the hardcover though. I don't want to spend $26. But this might be an area where I would, because I do want to like support Black creators, right? Get that money, honey. Way too. I also have thrift books. I don't know too much about this place. Also doesn't seem like it gives you as good of deals as I'm looking for. Now, if you guys know me, I have sold. Ooh. Oh, but it's, I can get it a little cheaper, but it's not like cheap enough. Oh, and it says it's paperback as well, but it's showing a hardcover. Dag nabbit. But yeah, Pango Books is a great place to go because you can get some pretty good deals. Oh, I want to try this. I don't want to spend $65, but I do want to try reading somebody else's annotated books. I could do that because I really enjoy annotating books. It might be fun to make pretty annotations and sell it, but I would like to do it for something like a lot cheaper. And ideally something that I've already read and that I like. Right? Like that would be cool. Okay, so let's see if I can find me some special editions. Books and Bone Dust. I have that one. I have a lot of these. Ooh, I don't have this, but that's way too much money. So it's kind of a hit for these. Obviously, for special editions, people are there trying to make some bank. This one, freaking loved. Only $20. I'm surprised. The books that I want, and the reason why I don't have them is because they're too expensive. I'm probably gonna get Confessions. That's the only thing I'm getting in my cart right now. Like, I don't think I can bring myself to spend so much. The girl's frugal. Sometimes. This is one that I've been kind of on the fence about, The Assistant to the Villain. It is paperback, but it does come as a special edition. It's only $13.99. Let's do it. I came for What the River Knows and The Reformatory, but they're too expensive. I think we'll save this one for later as well. We're gonna add this one because I've read something from Nat Cassidy that I liked before, and I liked his writing. Slice, that's cute. Who are you, my dude? Small creators for the win. I feed her to the beast, and the beast is me. I'm getting tired. I haven't actually bought anything yet, and I'm getting tired. Let's see what we have here for romance. Legends and Lattes. The It Girl is supposed to be romance? Love theoretically, maybe. Is that paperback? Yes, that's what I'm looking for. Tessa Bailey, Secretly Yours. I've read one of her books and liked it, but I don't know if I like her writing. Talk Santa to Me. Talk Santa to Me. Every once in a while, though, you don't get the cover that they show, and that's not cool. Okay, we are having success right now over here. Good prices, books I'm interested in. Gonna expand on my romance collection because I've been neglecting ya girl. Yeah, we are doing good right now. I think we're getting some good options. Oh, thrillers. Do they have good thrillers? Ooh, I don't know. Books. Just like Mother. Yeah, this one's not giving me the same way romance was. Romance had all kinds of things I was interested in. The Eyes of the Dragon. Pocketbooks. Perfect. Paul Bear's Club hardcover. Kind of tempted because I know I want to read it, but I also don't want to spend a lot of money on it. Yeah, I'm mostly looking for stuff that I'm already like aware of, which is not why I'm not reading a ton of the synopsis, but I'm actually kind of bad at doing that. Like I typically buy books that I've vaguely heard stuff about, so I have a general idea about it. And then I also try and go in very, very blind, which sometimes bites me in the butt. Like there are definitely instances where I should have read the synopsis because I would have known it's not for me. I will probably never learn. Romance is the way to go if I'm trying to get the most bang for my buck. I'm finding the most stuff that I'm interested in the romance category. So that's been positive. I kind of want to get this, but I didn't love the first book. Like, I think I didn't like the writing. Like, I like the idea of it, but I didn't like the actual writing. So I feel like I shouldn't. We're probably going to spend a lot of money on this site specifically, getting all of these like paperback romance at discount. But like, yeah, this one was already in my car. So in addition to romance, I do have a couple of thriller mysteries. So we've got Vanessa Riley's Murder in Westminster. I've wanted this for a while, but I always find it for like too expensive, which I kind of feel bad because I kind of want to pay full price for this, but I also just like don't. I can't. I'm starting to get a little like low energy. I'm running out of steam. All right, so let's get into the unboxing. So I have several books that I got from Amazon. I do have a couple of book subscription boxes that I'm just throwing in because they arrived when I got my big order, which is what I've been waiting for. So you get some bonus books thrown in, baby. Which actually, maybe we should start with the subscription book boxes since I'm obsessed with special editions. Oh, yes, okay. This one is technically more of a purchase than a subscription book box. As you can see, I got my Fairy Loot edition of A Curse for True Love by Stephanie Garber, the third and final book in the Once Upon a Broken Heart trilogy. I actually don't know if that's what it's called, but I believe that's the first book. I've read the first two books in the series, just waiting for the last one, which I hear people are a little bit disappointed in, so I'm interested in seeing my thoughts. But yeah, this one won't say much because it's a continuation of a series. Same author who did the Caraval series, and it's in the same universe as that. I have not read Caraval, and I do plan on reading it, even though I know the fact that I've read this series means that I'm spoiled for certain things in that other one. But we'll see, because I am a fan of the first book in this series and the general grouping of characters. So first book. Next up, we have my Owl Crate box. This one is Hidden in Time, the November adult fantasy book. It looks like we've got a signed edition of The Unmaking of June Farrow. That's actually interesting. I didn't realize it when I first saw this cover. Let me take the plastic off. Yeah, another special edition, sprayed edges, illustrated end papers, and this one looks like it's signed. Oh, with reverse dust jacket. I've seen this book on Book of the Month, and I was actually thinking that I would probably get it at some point, but now I have it in the Owl Crate edition. It has a completely different vibe than the original cover, which I actually like the vibe of the cover, the like fall yellows, whimsical, magical look, even though I don't actually love the cover, but this one's fun. A lot more pastel and pink. This would totally be my jam back in my Love Teacup Kisses days, but it's still pretty cute. Like, I ain't mad at it. Let's get into the main attraction. So I've been waiting for this to arrive. They put the whole box in plastic, I guess, to avoid getting wet instead of the books inside. Fortunately, it didn't rain because it doesn't look like this would have done a good job protecting everything. But yeah, we'll see how everything goes. I bought a lot. I almost feel like this isn't enough, but hopefully we don't have to do another take. Okay, 2 more boxes came. I believe this is the rest. We'll see. In terms of Amazon books, I ended up getting Nestlings by Nat Cassidy. I have a dedicated vlog for the last book and first book that I read by this author, Mary. It was such a freaking trip. And so as soon as I saw another book from him, I was like, I gotta check it out and see if I liked it as much as I liked the other one, which I will say, if you go and try and buy that book before watching the video, it's a wild ride. It's not for everybody. Trigger warnings. I don't know much about this book. I'm sure it could be similar, so be careful. But yeah, it's supposed to be horror, and it says that it's the creeping paranoia of Rosemary's Baby with the urban horror of Salem's Lot. So that's the kind of things that they're describing it as, and I'm excited to see if I like it. I don't know if I could talk that long about all of these books. Like, we have a lot of books to go through. Then I ended up getting The Assistant to the Villain by Hannah Nicole Meher. This is available on Amazon. It's the special print first edition. I guess they didn't sell out, so even though it's no longer in pre-order, there are still copies like this available, at least when I was buying it. And so yeah, pretty excited. It is a floppy cover, and I guess it would be considered romance fantasy. I don't typically like getting romance special editions because I don't like hardcover romance, but this is floppy and it's not just a romance. I'm totally down with fantasy romance, more fantasy than romance being special editions, because I have a ton of them and I freaking love them. This being a perfect example of that. But I don't know, contemporary romance, I want them all to be floppy, cutesy paperbacks. I don't know why. Next up, we have The Sacrifice by Rin Chupeco. This one I don't know much about. I'm assuming it's supposed to be horror. It's by a POC author, and I do have the Bone Witch trilogy also from her that I haven't read yet. So I don't know if I'm vibing with her writing style or not. I really hope I do, because I now have a bunch of books from her. So I am excited to get into it because it does have that kind of jungle vibe with the cover, but I don't actually know really what it's about. Then we have Confessions by Tanya Minato. I know I butchered that. This is actually a translated horror story that takes place in the classroom on the day that a teacher tells her class that she is resigning and that she knows that 1 or 2 of them killed her daughter. And so it's told, I think, mostly in like flashbacks and different perspectives from the students. Apparently it's really good. I've heard really good things about it. I don't know what to expect, but I am interested in giving it a shot. And then the last Amazon ones that I got are both romances. So The Neighbor Favor by Christina Forrest, which is obviously a super cute romance between neighbors. The neighbor aspect reminds me of a book that I really like by Jennifer Cruzy, Anyone But You. and I think that there is a book lover element to this one, so I'm hoping I'll like this even more, because Anyone But You does have an age gap thing going on, which isn't my favorite trope, but I still liked it, and hopefully I will like this even more. And POC author and characters is always a plus for me. And then another POC romance, Better Than Fiction by Alexa Martin, and this one is book lover romance theme. So we have a self-proclaimed book hater and a firm believer that the movie is always better, and she ends up inheriting her grandmother's bookstore, the Book Nook, and I guess she meets a book lover and has to deal with her obviously incorrect opinions about books. So that looks like it's gonna be a fun time. Excited. Now we're gonna get to the big boy and see if this is my full order or not. Where did my scissors go? I had them right here for this box mainly. Oh, really? I put it underneath the books? That was the choice I made? Let's get into it. The bag on top was more to just keep it together since it's literally falling apart. I just feel like all of the books that I ordered from them cannot be in this one box. But let's see. So we have Lisa Kleypas' Devils in Disguise. I read another romance from them earlier this year, actually from suggestion for one of you guys, and so I ended up really enjoying it. I ended up getting several audiobooks at discount, and this was one of them. So when I saw it, I was like, oh, I already have the audiobook for it. Let me get a super affordable version of the book. And because these are discounted, they do often have the discount marks from the publishers, which I hate with a passion, but if that's the only thing wrong, like, it's fine. Anytime I resell stuff though, I do always show that, because obviously. Then I also earlier this year read what Today, Tomorrow, and the Next Day or something like that, which was by Rachel Lynn Solomon, and I really liked it. So here's another book by her, See You Yesterday, and it's got a very similar book cover vibe, but they're not sequels or anything. They're completely different books as far as I am aware, and they're YA romance. There's a book in here that I didn't buy. Okay, we're gonna cross that bridge when we get to it. Okay, so then I ended up getting Virginia Woolf's A Room of One's Own. This one was super discounted, and I am kind of getting into classics and heard good things about this one, so I did want to give it a shot. For some reason, they threw in I'm Feeling Happy, a child's book, in my order, which I didn't order. Why did they do this? I'm scared to find out what I don't have because I have this instead. Okay, then we ended up getting another super discounted one, Death on the Night of Lost Lizards by Julia Buckley, and this is a cozy mystery cover by and price by, but I was all like, a witchy cozy mystery that focuses on a cat and, you know, has a super cute illustrated cover. Let's do it. I only bought one of the two that they had available, thinking that maybe I could try and read this and see if I'm into it, and then buy the next one in another order in the future. Near future, far future, who knows? Next up, we have Echoes and Empires by Morgan Rhodes. I keep saying like super discounted. Technically everything in this box is discounted, but the ones that I'm talking about were even more discounted than the like $5.99 sale that they were having, because $5.99 technically isn't that cheap when you get a lot of books, but yeah, when you can find some that are also like $1.50 and $3, like it's a deal. So this one I believe was also cheaper than the $5.99, and it's Forbidden Magic, Dark Secrets, and Tangled Destinies, a YA fantasy as far as I'm aware. Oh, okay, then we got The Pallbearers Club. This one I deliberately wanted to get here on discount because I don't know if I'm actually gonna like it. This is one of Kayla's from Books and Lala's favorite books. There's a lot of book conception. There's a guy who's writing a book about his past experience and his friend when he was a lot younger, so this is many years later, and how he thinks she was like a vampire or something. And in the margins of the book that he's writing is her notes responding to the things that he's saying, and she's basically like, no, you're dumb, why did you think it that way, like it's not that serious. And apparently her responses are really witty, but in the grand scheme of things it's a very slow pace, mundane character study kind of books instead of a plot driven. Like there's no plot, it's not heavy, it's not deep. It's just this kind of lame story and then witty responses to it, I think. And I'm interested in reading it because I do like mixed media interesting setups. And this obviously is a vibe. Like, how cool is that? Like her just writing notes and including her thoughts in his manuscript. Love it. Okay, I can confirm that this isn't my full order. The one that gave it all away, Ghost in LA Volume 1, talked about this in the last box. So I have Volume 2 and 3 of Ghosted in LA. I did also get Volume 1, but it's not here. I like me some graphic novels, ghost, paranormal stuff, and pretty art. So pretty excited to check out this graphic novel series, along with this one called Hollow, which is also beautiful art. This one is inspired by Sleepy Hollow, the Headless Horseman. So excited to see what twists and turns we get, because it's very clearly not just that story, as we have some modern day characters and some old-timey characters. I cannot words right now. Never a fan when they put the dots on the top. That always sucks. But next thing I got was Partners in Crime by Asha Rai, another POC romance. This one I'm assuming might be a little bit more glitz and glam, which I don't know if that's necessarily my thing, but I am still excited to check it out, and it does seem pretty cute. Then we have another POC book, The Lost Dreamer by Liz Perota, and the back says, to dream, seek the story within. I don't know, seems pretty interesting. Love the cover art. I've seen this around, and I love POC stories, and so I believe this is a YA fantasy. And I'll tell you more about it when I read it. Next up we have Talk Santa to Me by Linda Urban, and I have been trying to get my hands on a bunch of Christmas books, so cute art and obviously perfect for the season. Granted, I imagine I'm probably gonna save it for next season because I got too much going on now. Another horror book, The Lost Village by Camilla Sten. This is supposed to be a spooky Lost Village scenario, haunting, atmospheric. Don't know much about it. Then we have What Souls Are Made Of by Tasha Suri, and this is a remix of Wuthering Heights by a POC author, and I'm pretty excited to see what that's gonna look like, because I recently finished Wuthering Heights and it was a time, and so excited to see how I feel with renditions of it. Then we have Eternally Yours, which is a collection of paranormal romance horror situation, I believe, and we have several POC authors, so I'm pretty excited about this. But it says, vampires and merfolk, angels and demons, the stories in this anthology imagine worlds where the only thing more powerful than the supernatural is love. Next up, we have Death by Bubble Tea by Jennifer J. Chow. This is a POC cozy mystery. I just need more POC books in my life. Let's be honest. Okay, and then the last book in this box, but not the last book that I ordered, is The Severed Thread, which is the sequel to The Bone Spindle, which I do in fact have, by Leslie Vedder. Not much to say other than it was a sequel to a book that I already have at a good price. You know. So I guess let's see what future me gets for the rest of the order. Okay, 2 more boxes came. Let's go ahead and open these bad boys up. These ones have had a little bit more access to moisture because it is snowing right now. Just a little bit, very light, but still. Okay, so another box of goodies. So I got a Holly Jolly Diwali by Sonia Lally. I love that. As far as I'm aware, this is a cute POC romance, obviously. Fun times. I love romance in paperbacks, so yes, glad to be expanding my paperback romance collection. I guess contemporary rom-com chick lit romance specifically, because as I said last time, I'm all for the special editions and hardbacks for fantasy romance. But then I also got got There's Someone Inside Your House by Stephanie Perkins. This, I didn't necessarily realize that I got it in paperback. I got another one from her, and as long as that's in paperback as well, or else there was a mess up. But I guess I'm fine with paperback thriller horror situations. Then we have How Moon Fentis Fell in Love with the Universe by Raquel Vasquez Gilliland. This one I'm assuming is more of a coming age sort of situation. It is a younger POC novel, and it does have an award here, so I'm excited to check it out, even though I'm not typically the biggest fan of YA things. I tend to like them. I try to avoid them because there are some tropes that I really dislike that are pretty common in YA, and I just would rather relate to characters more as a grown-ass adult. But I also am aware that like there are a lot of relatable things when I look back to my own childhood. There are some really good books like that. There's Someone Inside Your House by Stephanie Perkins. I don't know much about this other than there's somebody in your house. That sounds like it would be a good thriller. I don't like knowing much about thrillers before going into them, so I'm excited to find out whatever this is eventually. And we have a sequel, The Harlem Sunset by Nekesa Afaya. I haven't read the first one in this series, but I did want, like I knew I would be interested. I like the general premise, so hopefully I like it, and obviously this was on sale. Then I ended up getting Vanessa Riley's Murder in Westminster. Now, I've been wanting this book for quite a long time, but a lot of her books tend to be kind of on the pricey side at full price. So even though I do like to promote and support POC authors, especially, like in some cases I know I just wouldn't get this otherwise, so I'm glad to have found it on sale. This is, as far as I can tell, a mystery series written by a POC author, and I don't need to know too much more than that. I'm excited to check it out and see if it's up my alley. Then we have A Taste of Sage by Yasa S. Santos, and POC romance chick lit sort of situation. It looks like we've got some chefs with a character who is opening a restaurant, doing something that she absolutely loves, but it doesn't go so well, and she finds herself instead being a sous chef at a French restaurant, and I guess romance ensues and things happen, and hopefully she ends up getting her own thing in the end. Fingers crossed. I don't know. Next up, Olivia Dade's Shipwrecked. I'm actually a fan of a lot of Olivia Dade's romance, so I'm excited to see more stuff from her, because it just tends to, I don't know, just be cozy, fun, and a little bit more on the inclusive side in terms of body sizes and general stuff like that. Then I ended up getting Love Theoretically by Atlee Hazelwood. Lots of stickers that I'm gonna have to remove from these bad boys. I have at least one of her other books, but in hardcover from Book of the Month, and as I mentioned, I do prefer romance in paperback, so part of me was like, oh well, if I can get them on discount, maybe I can get them all in paperback and just sell my hardcover on Penguin Books or something. So that's kind of what I'm thinking, although I don't have this one. I have a different one already, and I'm interested in trying it out. I did like her debut, I believe, the first one that I read, and I'm interested to see if I like the other ones, although I'm worried that now that it's been pointed out so much, the size thing might start getting on my nerves. I don't know, we'll see. I remember not loving the sex scene in that first book, but still having a good time regardless. Like, there were some things that I was just kind of all like, it's more uncomfortable than it is sexy, but the rest of it was totally up my jam. Then we had The Shadi Setup by Lily Val. As you can tell, we've got a theme going on. It's the romance era. I love romance, but I just like have not been getting them or reading them recently, so trying to expand on that and hopefully read more in the new year. We'll see. Okay, and the last one in this box is another graphic novel, Squad. This one's actually a little bit more chunky than I was thinking, but yeah, excited to add more fun graphic novels to the mix, because if you don't know, I'm an illustrator. I like art and I want to engage with more awesome graphic novels, get more inspiration, and possibly even work on something myself in the future as well. And the final box for this unboxing, online shopping charades that we've been doing. Oh, that's unfortunate. So we have a couple of books inside each other. I don't think they're too bad off, but some are folded funny. Ooh, that one's not great. So they're all kind of thrown together. So in transit, we've gotten a couple that didn't go as well as they could, but it's okay. They're not too bad. So fitting with the main theme that I seem to be going for here, Not Here to Be Liked by Michelle Quash. And this is a YA coming of age romance situation. Seems pretty cute. We have a girl who is trying to run to be editor-in-chief of the high school paper, but once she does that, the ex-jock Len DeMartell decides on a whim to run up against her after she makes this decision, and she's all like, now, even though I'm way more qualified because you are a popular dude, you're probably gonna get the job, right? And so she's trying to stick up against the patriarchy, and it's supposed to be a cute little feminist movement romance situation. I'm excited to see how that turns out. Then we have If the Shoe Fits by Juliet Murphy, which we have some big girl rep here. And this is part of the Meant to Be series, so by a bunch of different romance authors. They are, as far as I can tell, rewriting fairy tale stories in modern rom-com ways. I'm assuming this is going to be Cinderella. The other one that I read earlier this year was By the Book by Jasmine Guillory, which I believe is supposed to be a Beauty and the Beast retelling. So I am excited to continue this series, even though they're totally standalones by completely different authors. But I am excited, like I said, big girl rep. Then I also got The Accidental Pinup by Danielle Jackson, another POC romance as far as I am aware. Granted, I have heard some controversial opinions about this because I believe even though this is supposed to be semi-body positive, there may be some body hate language in here. So I'm interested to see if that is played out well or if it is actually problematic. But it did seem cute originally, and hopefully I end up liking it and it's not bad. Then we have When the Vibe is Right by Sarah Das. I believe I've read something from her before and hopefully enjoyed it, but I definitely got this because the cover looks fun and I'm pretty sure it's also a romance. That being said, unfortunately, this is a hardcover, which I wasn't paying attention to. My bad. Hopefully it's a fun time regardless. Next up, we have another sequel to another book. This one is Love Boat Reunion, the next book in the Love Boat Taipei duology, I think, by Abigail Hing Wen, about a girl who I believe goes back to the motherland in Taipei to have a college experience. Not 100%. I think it might be like in between college, so she just graduated and before then. But anyway, things don't go as planned. Lots of stuff ends up happening and it's a whole thing. And so I enjoyed the first one and wanted to continue with the story and see where things go. So as soon as I saw this, I was like, yeah, let's continue that. And although I do think this is romance, I think it's more coming of age than anything else. Although, I don't know, I guess it does have a heavy romance. It's been a while since I read the first one. Like, let's be honest, I don't fully remember. Ghost in LA Volume 1. Talked about this in the last box. I got the first 3 volumes of this graphic novel series. It does look like this one did get pretty chewed up in the corners, unfortunately. So I'll have to try and straighten those out. But again, all of this stuff is at discount, so not the end of the world for the price point that I paid for them. And everything is pretty much in good shape. I've only so far had one book that has come that wasn't the cover that I had picked. So that happens sometimes. So far for me, it's happened twice. And I don't know about anything else because there are still more books to go through, so we'll see. Now we have Lucy Yi Is Not a Romantic by Lauren Ho, about a, I want to say workaholic type woman who doesn't really want to be in a relationship but does want to have kids, who decides to do a matchmaking thing specifically for the process of making babies. And obviously it's going to be the experience that she goes through dealing with this and possibly falling for the person that she gets matched with, even though that wasn't the original intention for either of them. I think. I could be wrong. I don't know. All right, then we have House of Hollow by Crystal Sutherland. This is a YA creepy horror thriller mystery sort of situation where I think a couple of girls go missing and they come back and they have all of these special powers or something like that. And they're like the three sisters of witchy something or other, and things happen, and obviously I don't remember. But it's been something that's been on my radar for a while, and I'm finally gonna hopefully get around to reading it. We do have Queen of Tiles by Hannah Alkoff, and this is a YA, I want to say coming of age sort of story of a girl who is a Scrabble master, I guess. And so I'm interested in seeing what that's all about, what that entails, and you know, what the experience is gonna be like. I don't know. It's been on my radar for a while. I love how I keep being all like, I'm not really into YA books, and then I just keep buying them. Like, I don't know. Your girl's got a problem. So then I have another book from the Remix series. These are all by different authors as far as I'm aware. This one is So Many Beginnings, which is a Little Woman remix, and this is by Bethany C. Morrow, who has written books that I have liked in the past, and so I'm excited to read this. Granted, I should also read A Little Women first, which I haven't. I know, sacrilege. But I will probably use this book as an opportunity to encourage me to read the original as well and do them kind of back to back. So might make that a thing. If you're interested, let me know. Yep, okay. So The Woods Are Always Watching by Stephanie Perkins. This one is the other book that I had got from her. This one is a hardcover, so I did mess up the order and get one paperback when I wasn't intending to. So that's kind of a bummer, but that's okay. This one is another thriller mystery sort of situation. I'm assuming it's woods based. I don't know, but I'm excited to get into it and see what I think. Next up, we have Stephen King's The Eyes of the Dragon. Another one where a bunch of pages are folded. Let's fix that real quick. I read this when I was younger and I liked it, but it was so long ago that I don't fully remember. It was a fun time as far as I can remember my very, very limited memory of the situation. Next up, we have Ashford Parker Doesn't Fail by Ashley Herring Blake. And this one, I'm assuming a sapphic romance, chick lit, fun times. So right up my alley. Interested in checking that out. Then I also got A Dreadful Splendor by B.R. Myers, and I think this is a fantasy sort of situation. It does look like this is one of the worst ones that I've gotten so far, as the cover itself is cut completely through. So that's fun. And there also seems to be some scraping that has happened on the back. So this is the worst condition one I have gotten. I think this one doesn't have the marking on the top or the bottom, but it does have that damage, which is a bummer. It does have deckled edges and otherwise seems interesting. I vaguely remember reading the synopsis before I put it in my cart and I completely forgot. I think it's a mystery and that's pretty much it. Is all I remember. Whew. Quite the tower that we have created here. Have a couple more books and then we will be done. And I believe the remaining ones are all by POC authors. So we have another YA romance, A Taste for Love by Jennifer Yen, with two competing high school chefs who fall for each other somehow, something like that. I don't know. Then we have The Fraud Squad by Kayla Zhao. And this one, glitz and glam and probably drama. So it might not be my cup of tea, but still worth giving it a shot. So hopefully I end up liking it. Then we have Bet on It by Jody Slaughter. And this one is a bingo based romance as far as I can tell. Seems pretty cute. And then our last one is a mystery, and that is 2 Parts Sugar, 1 Part Murder by Valerie Burns, where we have a bakery owner person, possibly, who somehow gets tangled up in a murder mystery situation, and I'm assuming has to solve it. So, that is a lot. We have several stacks here, along with a couple of extra ones. I am very close from this order alone to hitting my 1,000 book goal to qualify my library as an official library. We might actually be there, if I'm being honest. I do have to do another count to see what we are at exactly, but this is like 60 bucks. You know, and with a couple of pre-orders and special editions that have come in, I possibly might have made the number. So let's count. Does this mean we've hit the goal of $1,000 to qualify my beloved book room as an official library? Let's find out. Okay, so I went around and I counted all of the books that I currently have, and I have 994 books, which means the 55 books from this haul brings me up to 1,049 books. I have an official library. Yay! That is so exciting. It's a dream come true. I am very, very fortunate to be in the situation to be able to make this happen. I feel so lucky and so blessed, and oh my goodness, it's just so cool to me because, I don't know, I feel like it's a lot of kids' dreams to have one of those cool libraries that you see in movies like Beauty and the Beast. I never thought that I would be here. I didn't think we were there. I thought I was further away from my goal. And it's so nice to see that not only did this push me over the edge and actually get me to the goal that I was hoping for, but it also means that I am well over, because I am probably going to be doing a unhaul of some of the books that I read in 2023 at the end of the year, because that's typically when I end up doing that. And now I have like a number of books that I can add to that unhaul list without losing my library status. So yeah, might have a unhaul / purchase video coming up so that I can keep myself here depending on how many books I end up unhauling. But this is so friggin' cool. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, be sure to thumbs up, put a book stack emoji, because we've got books galore over here. And I will catch you in the next bookish video. Until then, bye!